The City Club has played an important role in fostering public debate in Chicago for many, many years. Through your lunches and other forums, you have given leaders and opinion makers at every level of government, federal, state, and local, in the non-for-profit and the business community, to be heard on many of the challenges facing all of our communities. Because your time is limited, I want to get right down to business. We here in Chicago are at a critical point in dealing with all the decisions we make about Chicago's future are more important than ever, because this recession is very, very difficult. Either we continue to transform our economy, improve our schools, and reshape our government so that Chicago works better for everyone, or we risk falling farther and farther behind. I will not let this happen. I love Chicago too much and want only the best future for every person, regardless of their background or where they live here in our great city. Chicago has become one of the greatest cities on the planet because we have always tackled all of our challenges head-on. But it's the people of Chicago, their innovation, their resilience, who have brought us so far. That's one reason I'm optimistic, along with so many other people, about our city's future. And this is all about the future. Still, I know that Chicagoans of every background are still hurting because this is the worst recession in 70 years. Even though there are some signs that an economic recovery is starting, we cannot forget that our nation has lost millions of jobs in the last 2 years, and that many still foresee that this may be a jobless recovery. Millions of homeowners have had their homes foreclosed and their savings depleted. And many of our young people have been forced to put their dreams of college or career training on hold. It's no wonder that the people of America are angry today and are concerned about the future. Well, I understand how they feel, that the status quo, sometimes even in government itself, doesn't work for them. If there's anything we've learned, whether you're in government or in business, it's that some of the traditional ways don't work anymore. The old playbook doesn't work anymore. And that's why we have to keep embracing the future with a vision that makes Chicago work better for everyone, helps them better achieve their dreams in life. We have made great progress in Chicago by doing just that, delivering on our vision for the future that keeps all of our communities and our city moving forward. In looking to the future, I know that we have to do even more to provide every Chicagoan with a pathway to achieve their full potential. So in the next few weeks, I will lay out more of our plans to transform our economy and take our schools to a new level. I'll offer our plans to better coordinate our public education programs with our efforts to retrain our workforce for the jobs of the future, especially in technology. We'll deliver on our commitment to open career academies in our public schools, to reinvent our city colleges system so it better trains and educates our students to compete in the 21st century. I want to thank you for your support of our Chicago Career Tech program, which is designed to retrain our unemployed middle-class workforce for the jobs of the future. We convened the first class, 175 workers last week. We had over 700 applicants for those 175 jobs. But just to see their faces and to talk to these people, they did the right thing. They raised their family, they went to college, many went to graduate school. They committed, they paid local, state, federal taxes. They were all involved in non-for-profits. But in this economy, they didn't have technology, and they were all laid off. And now this is the rebirth of them. And their commitment, they just want a decent job for themselves and their family. It is amazing. We cannot forget that. That's what has made America so great, the middle class. And we have to rebuild the middle class. Take everyone's effort, and I know President Obama all the way down is doing that in Washington, D.C. to understand why America is so different is because of the middle class. As many of you know, Career Tech is a partnership that sets Chicago apart from any other city in the country, has the potential to put a great number of Chicagoans back to work by providing paths to jobs in areas such as healthcare, information technology, telecommunications, and others, all are fast-growing future industries with increasing career opportunities. This is a group of workers that's increasing are at risk of becoming permanently unemployed because of changing workforce needs, and we cannot let that happen in this great country. After the retraining, they are employed in temporary jobs before going on, we hope, to permanent jobs, and that's what they want. Over the long term, the city will invest $25 million from the Parking Meter Human Infrastructure Fund to support career tech. Already, 28 Chicago area businesses have committed to provide mentoring and hands-on learning experience to the class, and 51 Chicago area non-for-profits have committed to providing 2 days a week of service-based learning assignments. We have to understand, 2 days a week of training, 2 days a week of mentoring, and 2 days a week of working in non-for-profits in all of our communities. The program has received significant support from CNA, Microsoft, United Way, Joyce Foundation. I am pleased to announce that Northern Trust Company has recently come on board. The State Department of Commerce and Economic Development has given us a $300,000 innovation grant in support of career tech. Over the next few weeks, I'll also be taking our efforts to make our neighborhoods and our younger people safer from gun violence to a new level. I will be offering ways we plan to better protect our middle class and working families as well as our homeowners. But today, I want to address another challenge we face, and government faces that affects every taxpayer and every resident of our great city. And that is how we are addressing the challenge of managing government during a bad economy in a time of very, very slow revenues. Making the challenge more difficult, of course, is that much of the economic stimulus funding we relied on last year is running out. New funding won't be available to us or anyone else next year. As you know, I am not new to the challenge of better managing government. We have built a strong record of protecting taxpayers and better managing government with ideas big and small. Day by day, we have an obligation to our taxpayers to make government more efficient and to do more with less. I wish I could report today that the city's revenues have rebounded substantially, are above our conservative projections, but they are not. We see some increases, but not enough for us to conclude that an economic recovery has taken hold in Chicago. And that's why, again this year, we've acted to control costs to stay ahead of mixed economic news and very slow revenues. Already, we have cut non-personnel, non-safety spending across the board by another 6%, implemented a wide variety of other efficiencies. These include reducing the use of rented vehicles, locking in an $8 million natural gas savings, utilizing the lower-cost Build America bonds to save millions in debt service payments. We're working with our vendors to reshape their contracts, and I've asked them to cut the cost of their contracts by 10%. We're already looking to get a better value for taxpayers. We have a greater interest in working with those who provide us with the best service at the best price. As you know, to help us address our budget challenges this year, most of our unions and all of our non-union employees agreed to take part of a solution, to take pay cuts of more than 9% through furlough days. I'm leading the way. We'll also take a pay cut of more than 9%. Our sister agencies have followed suit, have implemented a combination of furlough days, unpaid holidays for their managers and certain other non-union personnel. Beyond controlling costs, though, I believe we have a greater opportunity. We need to do all we can to make sure that city government is working better for people and is ready to meet the challenges of the future. That means we have to embrace more technology so we can better serve our people and be more responsive to all their needs. We must continue to find new ways to reduce overlap, provide essential services well and efficient. We must structure government in a way that people can understand it. We have to make it easier for them to interact with government. We must better anticipate people's ever-changing needs. Of course, we have to make sure that government is affordable for people. And that's why, to protect our taxpayers and homeowners, I want to announce today that I will not propose an increase in property taxes in next year's budget. I believe people are hurting. I don't want to add to their burden. And too many Chicagoans are still at risk of losing their homes to foreclosure. I don't want to make that situation worse. At this point, other increases and service cuts are still on the table, primarily because we don't yet fully understand how much the economy and our revenues will improve. But I can assure our taxpayers that it should come to any of this, that it will be the last resort. I cannot rule out that to balance next year's budget will be forced to put many things on hold or reduce or cut some services, permanently or for a year or two. Until we know more about how the economic recovery is going, we're living in austere financial times in America. I also know that we can't balance the budget through better management alone, but we can lessen the pain on people in terms of possible service cuts and revenue increases by the steps we take now to make government much more efficient. I must be honest, I don't want to be unfair, but it frustrates me that some elected leaders across the nation seem to turn as a first resort to tax increases and service cuts as a way to deal with slower revenues. I believe there's a better way, and it's better manage government first, raise taxes and reduce services only as a last resort. If you put better management first, then you still need to raise taxes or cut services. You're at least come to that point reasonably and responsibly. And that's why we keep working to accomplish that. With that in mind, I've asked my staff to update our ongoing budget plan for the next several years to cut the cost of government, better and more efficient manage our tax dollars, and transform the structure of government to better respond to people's needs in our modern times. Our challenges will be both big and small in scope, but focused on one objective: government that is smaller in size, but remember, greater in performance. I know there are more ways we can eliminate duplication, especially on the administrative side, and by better coordinating our planning and service deliveries. With the goal of transforming government, I've ordered my staff to continue our review of the city's government, how it's organized. This has been an ongoing commitment. We already reduced by 5 the number of departments we have been by consolidating their functions. Moving forward by example, I told them to consider consolidating all the city inspections into one department so we can better raise the standards of conduct and accountability. I told them to find a way to review all of our neighborhood and business development efforts in land use regulation, to look for ways to enhance coordination and amplify our economic development work. I told them to look at ways to reduce and consolidate some of the city's internal service departments to reduce the cost of administration and make them more efficient. We don't yet have a final overall plan, but this is the type of thinking that we need to do if we are to keep reinventing government so it works better for our people. At the same time, I've already ordered the more focused steps be taken. We will consolidate the city's public safety technology functions. There are 51 positions budgeted within public safety departments for this function. Consolidating them will result in improved technology that would turn in improved public safety. We will centralize invoice payments in the Department of Finance. Instead of sending a bill to a department to pay and having the department process it and submit it to finance for payment, the bill will be sent directly to finance for payment. To improve the management and making sure that every tax dollar possible is going into fighting neighborhood crime, I've ordered a comprehensive review of the Chicago Police Department's administration to ensure the department is devoting every possible dollar to keeping our streets and our neighborhoods safe. We have strengthened the oversight and accountability of employees injured on duty. We're conducting a full audit of citywide health care programs to ensure only eligible dependents are receiving health care benefits. But we can do far more to make sure that ours is a government for modern times. That means we have to invest even more in technology in government. It won't be easy given all the financial challenges we face, but I firmly believe we'll find a way, even if it's a limited amount next year. Making use of advanced technology allows the city to improve the quality and efficiency of city services. Next, when it comes to cutting costs, we'll be taking more steps, big and small. I have ordered that a hold for 1 year be put on some of our city's beautification efforts, including tree planting and some other annual beautification projects. That's tough for me. We'll maintain our medians and right-of-ways, but will not invest in new plantings next year. This is a difficult decision for me to make. Keeping Chicago looking good and environmentally friendly is important to many people. It improves the quality of life of our neighborhoods. We're facing a tight budget, and we must set priorities. And what are priorities? This step will save us about $4 million, not a huge amount, but every dollar counts. Remember that. Next, to cut spending, we have recently begun to consolidate leased city space at a number of locations, including DePaul Center. Our savings will approach about $5 million. In addition, the Department of General Services is conducting a broader space utilization audit, meeting with each department to maximize the use of city-owned space, eliminate unnecessary lease space, consolidate existing space to correspond with current staffing levels. Further, as a result of our audit of health care changes, we've been able to save $9 million in health care costs alone this year. And most importantly, we have just negotiated the city's and sister agencies' pharmaceutical contract with Caremark, with provisions that will save about $12 million and millions more for all of our sister agencies. Next, we'll make government more responsive to people in several ways. Beginning in the next few weeks, we'll expand information that is posted online so potential homeowners can learn more about developers and contractors in the city, especially those who have taken to court or had their license revoked for improper residential activities. These steps are just the beginning of many changes. In the next few months, I will announce many more improvements in the way we manage government and our tax dollars and other steps we have taken to balance our budget, which I said may include some painful steps as a last resort. To help us work through this, we have partnered with McKinsey Consultant, which is advising us on how to eliminate our structural deficit. Together, we can devise ways in which the city can continue to bring its expenses back in line with new realities of a modern economy. Specifically, that will help us find ways to improve the productivity of our service delivery functions, streamlining our back office work process, and reduce contractual spending. And again, I solicited advice from the Chicago business community and ongoing meetings and conversations, which have been very helpful and very informative for our city. And many of you are here today. I want to thank you for your commitment. At the same time, we have already delivered on many of the ideas recommended by the 21st Century Commission in 2008, including the creation of the Department of Family and Support Services to better coordinate our city's important efforts to help our city's most vulnerable residents, our young people. We've invested our parking meter proceeds to set up a new website technology, making it easier for residents to find and apply for public benefit programs. We have cross-trained cashiers in the city clerks and revenue departments, improved certain building inspections by allowing professional self-certification for low-risk buildings. We've improved business compliance and consumer protection efforts by successfully merging the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. We will continue to implement ideas raised by the Commission. I want to thank them for their hard work in helping us modernize city government. We will continue our efforts to make government more transparent, accountable, to prevent and punish misconduct and any wrongdoing. I have addressed these challenges many times in the past and will continue to do so in the next few weeks, so I will not review our entire record today. However, we have taken recent steps to make government even more transparent. 2 months ago, we unveiled a new updated city website, which provides residents with more information and services online than ever before in a way that is easier to understand, faster to access, and more reliable. We have posted online financial interest statements, Freedom of Information Act request logs, information about boards and commissions, and much more information about city contracts, vendors, and TIF districts. Whether a resident is at home or in a public library, terminal, or anywhere else in the world for that matter, we want it to be fast, easy for them to get information or complete transactions with the city. To help prevent misconduct, we have fundamentally changed the way we hire employees to make sure the process is fair and open. We have changed the way contractors do business with the city. I have strengthened the responsibilities of the Office of Inspector General, including giving it responsibility for oversight of the city's hiring, compliance, monitoring, and investigative functions. At the city's website, we have summarized many of the steps we have taken to prevent and punish wrongdoing. I know we can always do better, and we will continue to strive to protect tax dollars from abuse and taxpayers from employee misconduct. Before I close today, I want to address another major challenge, one of which I know many of our businesses are confronting as well, and that's the increasing cost of pensions. Several weeks ago, I received a report of a commission that appointed to make recommendations for how the city addresses its pension shortfall, a situation that has only worsened because of this bad economy. While we're still considering the recommendations, what I can say is this: I believe we can develop a reasonable set of solutions that protects taxpayers. Taxpayers are rightly angry today at what they see as a system that unfairly protects what they call government bureaucrats. At the very time they're concerned about keeping their jobs and their pensions, they believe that city workers receive pension benefits that are too great. I hear and I respect that view, and that's why we're looking at every option which distances the burden as much as possible from the taxpayers. That includes, as I've said many times before, asking employees for greater cooperation in helping to solve the pension funding problems. As you know, a two-tier system has already been approved by the legislature for future employees whose pensions are in the municipal and labor funds. And before I close today, I hope you'll allow me to reflect on my record as a manager. Better managing government has been my priority from day one in office. On the day I first took office as your mayor, I spoke about making sure that government does more with less, was smaller in size, but greater in performance. Day by day since then, I've delivered on that commitment, and I believe Chicago is better off because of it. In the last 10 years, we've cut about 6,200 employees, even as we have added sworn police officers. We cut the cost of government by $2.7 billion during that time by better managing government, controlling spending, implementing greater efficiencies. Last year, we cut the cost of government by $114 million. And this year already, we've cut spending by $24 million. We will cut further to balance next year's budget. To protect taxpayers, we have increased property taxes by less than the rate of inflation, an average of 1.3% a year since I've been mayor. And while we've increased some taxes, fees, and fines, we've already increased them as a last resort. My point is this: as your mayor, I've always acted to control spending, cut costs, and improve the management of government before asking taxpayers to pay more. Now is the time to build a better future for Chicago. I want government to work even better for them. To accomplish that, it's important that every one of us act to transform our government for the 21st century and improve our efficiency even further. And I firmly believe this city, with each and every one of you and millions of others, have that I will spirit that can respond during economic time to what government should be. I want to compliment, there are many people in government, whether federal, state, local people, those who are appointed, even elected. I want to thank them for the great commitment of public service. It's a great calling. It's a great profession. I really firmly believe it is something special. Some people have been part-time, sometimes full-time. But we have to be more positive about those in government can respond to the people. And I hope all of you understand that you in the private sector has a responsibility as well to be mentors and act within the framework of government and do the best and take these challenges that not only public officials should have, but you should have in educating and helping people in this great city. I deeply appreciate the City Club for giving me this opportunity. I thank all of you for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.